No worries, Aberdeen fans, but was it the West Brom chap that followed Wilfred Nancy? I think he got 9 games.
You get 40 days,
Nancy you get 33 days and 8 games. So there's only 9 games left of the season, so that
he might get to the end.
Yeah.
And by the way, why would you want Jens Bertolatsku anyway?
Well, it's interesting about Aberdeen. I've made a bit of a mess of this whole managerial thing, haven't they? Really, they've kind of dithered and waited, and then they've been let down, and it's kind of rumbled on. And they look like a team that are waiting for something, aren't they? I mean, I know they brought in some coaching staff, experienced guys try to help it out, but they just look like a squad and a group that needs a bit of leadership and a bit of direction. And like I say, this might be the jolt they need, because I say the season is starting to kind of drift for them. I know they've got the cup to look forward to as well. Was it Dunfermline in the cup this weekend, which is a really interesting tie. But yeah, this might be the joke. I'm joking about the MLS, right? You can't judge every coach that comes from that level, because 2 guys have had a nightmare. But it is, listen, Aberdeen got Stephen Glass came from there as well, didn't he? Didn't do so hot. So it is a bit of a gamble. I mean, there's managers in Scotland who have done. I mean, you look at John McGlynn, Stephen Robinson. There's plenty. There's plenty of guys about Scotland who you look at, who maybe you think they would do a good job up there, but they've obviously want to do something kind of a bit more out of the box. So listen, fair play.
I can't get my head around why the conversation hasn't taken place if it hasn't taken place.
Why wouldn't you just ask the question at the very least?
Ask the question. Maybe they have.
About Jens?
Aye.
Yeah.
I think his sights are set. I think, unfortunately for Mull, I think he'll be gone in the summer. And I think Celtic, if Celtic want him, they'll need to act quick, because I think he's already getting a few tickles from down south and abroad. I think he'll be going to the English Championship or somewhere, a decent level somewhere in Europe. So if Celtic are serious about going for him, they can't hang about, because he is a wanted man. I think unfortunately for Aberdeen, his sights are set higher than Aberdeen.
Well, look, plenty of comments coming in on this.
Still want to ask the question if I was them.
Just find out. Why not?
Listen, that's my motto in the dancing back today. If you don't ask, unfortunately, I always seem to get one answer back then.
And yet you remained undeterred.
Well, that's it. If at first you don't succeed, just keep trying. Maybe one day.
In the comments, McKenna says, I believe McKenna says the main difference, the players all play from and each other. Chick says Mother will beat Hearts before the split and go top if the last 5 games are anything to go by. James says, guys, Mother will have the best defence in Europe. The forward plays brilliant. I don't think you're taking them seriously enough. And just finally, David says, anything other than a win for Celtic tomorrow and it's Hearts title. I don't know if you guys would go along with that.
It's hard to disagree, but I think talking about the run-in is going to be interesting. But if Celtic have got an 8-point gap with 8 to go, it's been done before, but not with this Celtic team. I think Celtic Rangers are both up against it right now, really up against it.
What do you think, Keith? If Celtic drop points tomorrow, is that their challenge?
No,
over?
They can't. They can't. They just can't. They've just dropped 2 at the weekend. They can't go up to Pittodrie and follow that up with more drop points. Not if they're serious. No. And not with the momentum that's getting built. And, by the way, what's the chances of going into this post-split, the post-split fixtures, thinking, that's fine because just win all 5 of them? Really?
Yeah.
So no, I would totally agree. Anything less than 3 points tomorrow night, I think is tatty bye in terms of this season's title for Celtic.
Celtic have taken 1 point out of 6. I mean, I know they got the celebrations at the end of the game. That's 1 point out of 6 to go 2 out of 9 or 1 from 9 at this point in the season is pretty much catastrophic for the hopes.
Yeah.
Mick, who would you start up front tomorrow night for Celtic? And Keith as well. I mean, I just think it's so uncertain. Obviously, Adama at the weekend. Shvan Chara couldn't get off the bench. He was the main man previously. Maeda through the middle. I don't know. Who do you go with?
Well, this is the thing. Listen, when we obviously this afternoon's press conference, we get a kind of separate with Martin Neal. So I kind of asked them about some of the kind of the Siberian squad, the guys that have disappeared. We were talking about them on the podcast the other day. The kind of the mysterious vanishing strikers at Celtic, and he was quite good on some of them. I think on Sunday it was maybe the case of that he didn't know how to cope with the environment. He chucked in Adamu, he didn't cope with the environment. Even Oxlade-Chamberlain didn't cope with the environment. surprisingly. I mean, a Champions League semi-finalist and all that stuff. Just the pace of the game and the ferocity of the game. So I think he was more conservative with the players that he picked on the pitch and on his bench. Like he said, back to the kind of core that he get a bit more trust in. I think you might see Chankara coming back in, Pittodrie. I think he's been okay, but needs more a goal threat. But then they've not had the supply. I mean, you think the way Celtic played in the second half for the last 35 minutes of Sunday, if they had that kind of way of playing, would Chankara look better? Would they get better opportunities? Would they get better supply? Would they have taken the chances that Dyson Maeda missed? Possibly. We don't know it. Obviously, it's hypothetically. But this is the problem with Celtic. All these guys they brought in, there's too much unknown about them. It's a kind of hope for the best that they find something. So far, they've not really caught fire. I mean, they haven't. I mean, I know Adamo scores his back heel against Dundee, but plays 45 minutes the next game, gets hooked. Chanchara's looked okay at times, but again, missed a couple of chances. Missed one against Hibs, didn't he? With a sitter the week before. So there's just unknown with these guys. So does he trust?
That's why I think Mike he'll go with the tried and tested where he can.
You think Maeda up front, Keith?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, then there's also problems that Pittodrie pitch is not great just now as well, and it's like it's a tricky one, like you said, Daniel. It's an awkward, really awkward game for Celtic. And I think Maeda will probably get a nod because he has got a more experience in these kind of games. But then Maeda's finishing this year has been pretty poor. I mean, you think he's got his shoelaces tied on together at times. So even on Sunday, a couple of big header chances that I thought he should have put away. So I wouldn't be surprised if Chanchara get back in. But Celtic got nothing up front. This is what I said this last night. The reality of a Celtic is they've not really got much up front, which is where I can't see that. I need to find goals somewhere else. That's why Benjamin Negan plays most weeks, because he is a goal threat, whereas the rest of them aren't really. I mean, even the wide areas, Taneki's got 2 goals a season, Yang's got 4, Maeda 7. I mean, it's not. I mean, Iniacho, we get asked about today. It's in a bit of paper about him as well tomorrow. I wouldn't be banking on him being seen anytime soon this season either, to be honest with you. I know people are surprised at that one because he has got a bit of quality, but he's got a bit of quality. But if you're not fit enough, do you mean it's like you're the guy at the 5-a-side who's used to be a player. Like after 20 minutes, you're not used to me. You can't run about. So that's another kind of one that's maybe not. I wouldn't be banking on seeing anytime soon. But yeah, so who knows with Celtic? Who knows? They're just trying to claw their way towards the finishing line.